There were about 1,500 people within the Force and Garbage building's lower 71 floors. Those closest to the ground floor made it safely and unscathed to the basement's fallout shelter. Sonichu and the rest of us, heroes, cleared up the majority of the rubble. I called for ambulances. 20 of them arrived. 500 people were perfectly unharmed. 250 were too drunk or passed out, and they needed help from the sober trolls. Half of the 250 drunks made it safely. The other half, plus 125 sober, were either hurt, injured, or dead. Out of the remaining 500, they had 250 injured, 150 safe but hurt, and 100 dead. All DOA trolls were cleared from the site. Later, a memorial will be dedicated for all the victims of the trolling downfall. No one would ever rebuild the building, as well as both the Encyclopedia Dramatica and 4 Cent Garbage websites again. And both websites were completely destroyed. Every last megabit of data. For now, we move on with the story. Chris watches the ambulance clear the dead and wounded, and weeps over the needless death and destruction he himself has wrought. Sigh, what a waste, he says. Every last one of those people could have done a lot more with their lives, but instead they wasted their time spying, hacking, and torturing innocents. That TMZ show was no better either. Tabloids. Yes, agrees Sonichu. And they had no right invading mine and Rosie's private moments either. I hate that show. Sonichu recalls past instances of TMZ's invasion of his family's privacy. Once, while watching Rosichu on the toilet, a TMZ camera appeared from behind the shower curtain. Jeez, says Rosichu. Can a girl even put in a tampon without being tabloided or exploited? On another occasion, he and Rosichu were preparing to engage in intercourse. Hey, go home and do it with your own sweethearts. Dang it, says Rosichu, as she stands over the bed in a red leather outfit. Sonichu lays in a prone position on the bed, clad in gay leather boy attire. He glares uncomfortably at a camera peeking through their bedroom window. On a third occasion, TMZ cameras observe Robbie Sonny, Sonichu's son, as he played with a toy truck in a sandbox. Unsure how to react, Robbie attempts to tell a story. This one time, I saw a lizard by a twee, and I whizzed on it. Heh. Is that good enough for you? Get those cameras off me, I'm just a kid. In the present, Magichan uses teleports in to join the others in Tennessee. Yo, Magichan, says Sonichu. Welcome back, says Chris. How'd the mission go? Successful, Christian, Magichan says. All final tests of the vaccine were a full success as well. After having returned the crates of the vaccine to our time, I requested aid of the water treatment and medical facilities. The 1,000 crates were transported in 50 Mack trucks. The vaccine would be later tested further over the next 6 months, then dispensed into the world's drinking waters. And so, on February 24th, 2009, all around the world, every last person will be cured and protected of the orientation of hell. And that day will be declared Christian Love Day. Not only a considered second Valentine's Day, but the day all people in true straight love will remain just that. All homosexuality and asexuality will be left extinct and forgotten, thanks to the blood of Christian Weston Chandler, of Ruckersville, Virginia, born on February 24th, 1982. Magichan closes his eyes and smiles. And, spoiler alert, after the death of Graduan Scepter, Sylvana Rosichu will become all woman. She and I will become a true love couple as well. At last, under God and Jesus' will, says Chris, all true love will be right and just forever. Just then, we see Meg Griffin from Fox Television's primetime animated series Family Guy approach Chris. Props to Seth MacFarlane. Hi, Chris, she says. As Chris turns to respond, he gasps with excitement. Oh, my God! Megan Marie Griffin! I loved you from your show, and you still look so hot and awesome, Chris says. What are you doing here in Tennessee? Well, my family and I were visiting the nearby national park, and I heard the song from there, about a quarter-mile away. So I walked over to check it out, and I recognized you. A bit shy and flustered for a short while, I couraged up and came to say hey. I'm a big fan of your comic series on your Wikipedia. How cool is this? Chris says. We are fans of each other. Sweet. Then a man approaches Meg and taps her on the shoulder. Excuse me, sir, do you have the time? He asks. Offended on Meg's behalf, Chris steps in. Firstly, sir, Megan is a woman, and I will have no one mislabel her otherwise. Second, it is 3:05 p.m. Oh, well, excuse me, the man says. My apologies, Madam Chrissy. Chris waves his arms furiously. I am a man, he shouts, and my name is Christian, you dumb ass. Enraged, Chris punches the man in the face, knocking out 2 of his teeth. Such gross mislabelings really grind my gears, he says. Impressed by Chris's overreaction, Meg pats him on the back. Wow, thank you for standing up for me like that. You are really strong. I was right to ignore the bad rumors. You are a good man. Thank you, says Chris. It is refreshing to be fully understood and appreciated. I feel like I have known you for years, Meg says, feeling his arms. I want to thank you for your noble deed properly. Ooh, lordy, I would accept that happily. Has Seth let you turn 18 yet? Chris asks. Oh, don't worry, Meg says. I am consensual. And before the wreckage of the 4-cent garbage building, they share a passionate kiss. You are a great kisser, Meg says, and so big, too. You should come to Quahog for a visit at least. My family enjoys your work very much, too. Well, fate and the contract from Seth permitting, I just may, Chris says. I can't wait. Bye for now, sweet prince, Meg says, waving farewell. Stay safe, Megan, says Chris. We all love you. But as Meg walks away, a devious look appears on her face. Heh heh, she thinks. Suddenly, she transforms, revealing that she was not really Meg Griffin at all, but in fact the Tiresias of Terror, Sylvana Rosachew. Now this is trolling, she thinks. Unaware that he has kissed a creature with a penis, Chris confers with Magichan. Christian, I have foreseen at this moment of you having a moment of remorse. Would you like to share it before I return the crystal to you? You are correct, Magichan, Chris says. Something does come to mind, from my real-life self without any secondary meanings whatsoever. Without further ado, I want to apologize. Suddenly, we see Chris standing on a theater stage, flanked by Sonichu, Rosachew, Bubbles Rosachew, and Black Sonichu. As each couple holds hands, Chris addresses the audience. I, personally, want to extend my apologies for offending a bunch of homosexual people and others with the past few pages. I have stated time after time, again and again, that I, Christian Weston Chandler, am and always will have been a straight man, and unless stated otherwise of a few, the majority of my characters, including Sonichu and Rosachew, are all straight too. Finally, I have drilled those facts into y'all's thick skulls successfully. January 10th, 2010. While I do feel the success, I feel remorse because of a decrease in fan support. Regardless of y'all's own race, orientation, love us or hate us and troll us, I would probably ended this early book number 3 without your support and all. You all are what you all are, and I am heterosexual. I deeply apologize for offending y'all. Please do not leave me. I will draw and write what I appropriately will. Christian W. Chandler.